Hey everyone, it's Erin from erinbunpaints. Welcome back to another acrylic painting tutorial. Today I'll be teaching you step by step how to recreate the beautiful painting beside me. It's called Across the Pond. The supplies needed today include my usual 5 paint colors. We have red, yellow, phthalo blue, black, and white. And then the brushes I use are my usual 3. We have the large flat brush, we have the medium round brush, and we have the small round brush. As usual, the footage from today's tutorial was taken from a recent live stream of mine. If you want to tune in live next time to be able to ask me questions while you paint and interact with the other viewers who are painting along with me, you've got 2 options. You can check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/erinbunpaints. That's where I stream both my tutorials and just everyday painting content throughout the week. Or you can check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/erinbunpaints. That's where I stream just the tutorials through Facebook Live. Otherwise, you can check me out on Instagram, instagram.com/erinbunpaints. And if you're looking for my past tutorials, they're all right here on YouTube on my YouTube channel. So feel free to subscribe if you want to be notified whenever a new tutorial is posted. All right, let's hop to it. Enjoy the tutorial. Okay guys, let's have a look at the painting. I'll talk about our first step. So what I did in this painting, everybody, while it's not super necessary, I did kind of sketch out a plan here. You could think of it as a way to save some paint potentially and just to kind of like plan out your stuff. It's not super necessary because acrylic, as you know, as it dries, you can go on top with more color. So in theory, we could just do all blue to begin with. But I'm going to lead you through kind of sketching out some lily pads just so you get a little more comfortable with the design and the layout. And then what we're going to do is paint blue all around it. Okay? So I'm going to actually start with my medium round brush just for some sketching to begin with. So if you want to grab your medium round, you can dip it into your water. And I'm just going to use blue to outline because of course we'll be using blue for the water. So you can do blue. And I'm actually going to mix it with a little bit of white. So I'm pouring phthalo blue, just to be clear, on my volcano plate. I'll show you in a second. It's quite the sight as it rolls down the volcano. There it is. It just grows day by day. There's some fresh white on the other side there. I'll mix them together. So I am mixing like a medium blue. So you see how the blue's a little brighter over here rather than dark? That's what I'm doing. I'm just mixing kind of like even amounts of blue and white. Lisa, I was just looking at the pond this morning with lily pads and my husband said I should try painting them. Perfect timing. No kidding. Life at the pond, says Sandra. Very nice. Will this still be up to view later? Yes, Carol, on YouTube. youtube.com/erinbunpaints. That thing thuds when it hits the table. I know what. I'm so sorry. I'm still working on that. Oh, cheers to everybody in Twitch. Oh my gosh. Thank you, 2 shades. Oh my goodness. All the tea there. All the tea. Came to watch painting, but almost 40 minutes of it in. Yeah, Leona, I'm just starting right now here. All right, it's a tutorial, so I had to wait to make sure we're all ready. All right, so if we want to do the same layout here, we have some lily pads down here. I would make sure you're putting at least 1 lily pad for your nice little froggy friend here. So I have 2 lily pads, 1 up here, and then I'm going to do my actual lily. I'm not going to mark out where my small pads are. Those I just kind of put right on top of the blue, totally fine. But yeah, I'll kind of sketch out all the other elements for you here. So medium blue, let's start. My lily pads, they're pretty oval shaped. They kind of look like little Pac-Man almost. I know Pac-Man is quite round, but it's kind of like a squished little Pac-Man. You can think of it like that. So I'm going to start over here. And just very roughly, I'm going to try my best to mimic what I have in my reference just to keep it as close as possible as usual. But if you want to change things up a little bit, of course, you are more than welcome to. Maybe you want to change where your lily pads are, how big or small they are. But again, I'm trying my best to replicate what I showed you, just so I can stick true to my reference here. So I'm going to do a little slice in like this. And you can see this is all very rough. I'm just kind of roughly planning out where I'm putting my stuff right now. If you need to change things up, you need to do a 2nd or 3rd or 4th line, you totally can. That's the beauty of this first step. You're just kind of planning things out. And again, not super necessary, but it'll definitely get you more comfortable with where everything is, I'm sure. So I'm doing a 2nd lily pad. It's going to be hiding behind this one, so I'm kind of chopping it off as you see. It's going to maybe tilt down a little bit rather than kind of across. Still oval shape, just different. Oh, that's quite the oval. So I'm always painting from the side, guys, so things might be a little bit off compared to my original where I had a little more concentration, but I try my best. I put the slit right here. If it helps, if you need to like overlap like this to kind of complete the shape and see it, that's fine. You can just make sure you overlap later on. Let me see. I've got another one way up here. Quite the oval again. It's a little stretched out. So yeah, just keep painting it, you know. If you don't like the shape, this is your time to change it, right? It's kind of your planning steps, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see what's in the camera there and trying to adjust. It's kind of a... If you've ever painted by looking at a camera, you know what I'm talking about. This is difficult stuff. Thank you, Jennifer, for answering that question. And hello, Christy. Hello, Christy. I'll be lurking. Cool. Thank you so much for the lurk. Tambina, nice to meet you. Just doing another slit there, guys. Again, so rough. You can see how rough this is. Mostly just to save paint. Volcano is God. It sure is. Erin always starts the first 30 minutes. Thank you, Miss Grok. Yes. And then 10 minutes because of the huge raid. Yes. All good. All good. And then Two Shanes is here. Yes. Hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hello. Okay. Welcome, Spuds. Hello. Okay. I think I'm pretty much caught up. She's Lady of the Lake. Points at CJ. Great. Okay. So I've got my 3 lily pads there. We'll give you a quick minute if you're still adding some lily pads. Again, I'm not doing the small ones, so you don't really need to worry about those. And yeah, I'm going to do a basic outline of my lily, by the way. We're not worried about doing all the middle stuff right now. I'm just going to be kind of doing some little spikes here, maybe some little, you know, individual petals just to kind of map them out. But once again, if you need to change them up as you go or even later, that'll be easy as well. Okay. So for the lily, I'm placing it about here. And just to give you a general idea on shape, I'm going to kind of choose where the middle is. I'm just going to do some spikes kind of coming out like this. Again, this isn't super necessary to get too detailed with. How's that looking? That's decent. Even if you wanted to just do an oval, guys, that's totally fine. This is really, again, just to save some paint so you don't paint it all blue and then have to cover it all up with more paint. There we go. So all I did there, again, very basic shape. This is going to be much more cleaned up to something like this later. But what I did is I was doing curved lines that came to points. So you can see the first few here. They're all very tight together. Let me see. So they're all, you can see, they're all touching. They're all very tight together. We have some smaller ones down here and here on the sides. And then on the bottom, I kind of spread them out a little bit. Just when I was looking at references online, I noticed there were some more individual ones kind of down here. So you can kind of spread them out a bit more. If they overlap a little, that's fine as well. I'll just give you a minute if you want to have a look at the reference and at my sketch there, just so you can sketch out as much or as little as you like. Lul's here. Yes, I said hi. Excellent. Thanks for the shoutouts, Groki, too. Thank you so much for your help today. James in timeout. Don't know why. All going swimmingly. Ah, I love it. Night Wolf. That's quite the message, Night Wolf. Thank you. Fight for my passions. Love it. Thank you. I think that was pretty positive. Love you forever. A pleasure, of course. A pleasure. All right. Lots of love today, apparently. Okay. All right, guys. So hopefully you have that sketch pretty much done. And if not, again, it's not totally necessary. I just really like planning things out, as you saw with my bullet journal. So there we go. That's my plan. So now I'll actually teach you how to add the blue water and all those nice little streaks in there. So I'm using a nice big brush, a nice big large flat brush. So use whatever large brush you have. Hopefully your largest brush isn't like a paint roller or something crazy like that, but any big, you know, painting brush. Christy says hello from Cambridge, Ontario. Yeah, if anyone wants to share where they're from, it's always fun to see where we're from. I think a lot of you have been doing that already. I'm just mixing a little more of my medium blue, guys. That's blue and white together, about even amounts. I'm just wiping left and right. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm going anywhere on the outsides of my lily pads, of course. I'm just leaving them blank. That was the whole point of the sketch, to kind of save some paint. So you can see, you can be messy with it. If you go a little inside here and there as you're stroking, it's all good. It's all good. If anything, I would be a little more generous with that, just because the last thing you would want, I guess, is to leave any gaps. Like when you go in for the green and then you're like, oh no, I have to go back to blue to re-add it. It's a little annoying. It's not the end of the world. It's just kind of annoying to have to go back and forth. So if anything, be a little more generous. So I have this little slit here. I'm just going to go back and forth and really cover that up, for example. So yeah, it's gonna look pretty messy to begin with. Pretty messy. You're like, what's going on here? What is this tutorial? Oh my goodness. But this is how it looked when I first did it. I think a lot of you in Twitch chat right now, I guess, you guys were watching as I made this one. And it did look pretty messy. This is exactly what I did. I sketched it all out, did some messy water, and then kind of cleaned it all up later. So it's the same process. So I'm stroking it on. I'll show you something that I'm doing as I'm going, everybody. So I'm just using that plain blue. You can see it's pretty plain right now. But in the reference, you'll notice that I have a lot of streaks. See how there's like some dark blues and light blues and stuff? In order to add those, what you can do just as you go, or after you put on all the blue, you can go back and do this as the blue is still wet. You just need to grab some larger blobs of either white or blue. So I'm grabbing some white here. Just as an example, I'll stroke it on left and right. And you can see it just kind of lightly blends in, but it also leaves behind a nice light blue streak, just to make it streaky, quite literally. I'll do the same thing with some blue. You can just grab some plain phthalo blue, streak it on. And you can see, because the blue is still wet, it kind of softens up, you know, kind of softly goes in there. Doesn't completely disappear. If you'd like for it to completely disappear, you can just stroke on top of it a few more times and it will start to disappear into the blue. But the point is, in my opinion, to keep it a little more prominent. So I just do a couple streaks, and then I'm good. So I just kind of do that as I go along. You can see I've done about half, so I started doing that about halfway down. There we go. I really like this one. Yeah, me too, CJ. I'm a fan of both of the paintings this weekend. I'm a fan of all the paintings, of course. But I don't know, these ones I think were like extra bright. I don't know what you guys thought, but I was really trying to think of colors for these ones and trying to get some beautiful, bright ideas on the canvas. So this one especially, lots of bright blues, of course. Got the greens and then the pink of the lily. Love the pink lily, personally. And the one on Sunday, again, for those who don't know, I'm painting again on Sunday. I'm doing a step-by-step tutorial in case you're curious and following along. This one, I love just the color gradient. Shout out to Sharon, who sent over a nice background for that one. She sent over a nice reference, although I found a separate reference online as well, but they both had that similar color gradient. So nice choice, that nice pink to yellow. To like kind of a blue turquoise in the sky. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I'll note that again, guys, if anyone ever has photos, especially ones that they took, that you want to share with me as inspiration, either just for subject matter or for colors. I love getting just color inspiration. So even if it's kind of like a photo you wouldn't want painted, but like the sky is beautiful or something, send it over. I love collecting reference photos because I really like looking at things as I paint, so I try and have like a couple reference photos for each painting, and I smoosh them all together to make a nice design, a nice unique design. So feel free at any time. You can private message the Facebook page, get me on Discord, wherever you want. Okay, I'm going to cover up this slit here. So again, you can see my shapes have very much disappeared, but I did save a lot of paint there, so it was worth it. And again, it just kind of helped me visualize what was on the canvas a little bit more. I think that's pretty important. I'm just going in and adding a couple streaks, so I'm grabbing my white, going back and forth, grabbing my blue, back and forth. And again, do this as much or as little as you want. That one's totally up to you. You can make it super streaky, you can make it super dark, super light. Add more dark blue streaks, add more white streaks, whatever you want. I just love the look of it, all the nice little colors and shades in here, so go wild. And then just as an extra step, you guys, if you'd like to paint up the edges, I always recommend that just to really complete your whole painting. So I'd probably go ahead and do the whole thing blue for now. And then what you can do is with each lily pad, if it's hitting an edge, you can kind of carry it over, and that'll kind of, again, complete the whole painting, really. You can see it from all angles. Really makes it nice and professional. Professional. Phyllis, hello from Cochrane, welcome. Alyssa, how do we find you on Twitch? Good question. So Facebook again, and just for context again, I'm both on Facebook and Twitch, so that's why I'm chatting with some people you might not see in your comments section. If you're on both platforms, you'll see them both, but I don't think many people use both at the same time. So Facebook, I'm going to send you that Twitch link again. And again, for context as well, for those on Facebook especially, on Twitch you'll see me much more often. I'm just doing like personal art on Twitch. I painted a space painting recently, check this out. Just as you're finishing up your blue, I'll kind of show this one off. Woo! So people got to see me paint this live, they gave me suggestions. Check that out. That was a suggestion made by some Star Trek fans. Yeah, so things like this, just things that are maybe a little more complicated. I don't teach them step by step, I just paint them so you can be inspired by it or paint along with me or just chat with me as I paint. So that's what you'll find me doing on Twitch when I'm not doing tutorials. Hi Anju, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Again, I'll give you guys another minute or two here. Thank you, Grog. Woo. That raid was something else, man. Oh, right though, I'm just not breathing at all. I'm getting redder by the second. It's my blush, I swear. Love the streaks and color variation. I'm seeing shadows in the water. Yes, exactly. You got it, Two Shanes. Yes. Oh my god, people down by the lake are talking about a big snapping turtle in the water. Bye. CJ has left the dock, everybody. Time to get out. Run. Those things are nuts. They're scary. They're really scary. Snapping turtles? Yeah, I've seen a few. They're quite scary. So fast on land and in water. Don't be fooled. I know. Yeah, they're not like turtle slow. They're fast. Alyssa, thank you. I know nothing about Twitch except that my son streams his games there. Oh, very cool, Alyssa. Oh my gosh. I've heard that a few times. Some people on Facebook saying, oh, my kids talk about Twitch. I'm like, glad I can tell you more about the platform. Yeah, it's mostly known for gaming, to be fair, and that's what I knew it as before I was enlightened, and I was told there's a lovely art community on Twitch. It's been so great. The whole art community is so generous, welcoming, etc. Everyone very much supports each other. And I'm very inspired by the community. I've been watching other Twitch streamers on the community, and they're so inspiring. There's so much talent there. And yeah, so please check me out on Twitch if you feel like it, and check out the whole art community. It's so nice all around. There's acrylic painters, oil painters, lots of digital art on there, which is very inspiring as well. I had somebody doing pottery recently in my chat, and then I checked her out. She does pottery throwing live. So many things you can just kind of watch and learn. You can chat with them. They're all very chatty as well and welcoming, most of them. So feel free, check it out. Anju, I'm good. Thanks for asking. How about you? I'm great. Thank you, Anju. I'm now fully awake from my nap. Bonnie, hi from San Diego. Hello, Bonnie. Anju, I am late. I'll catch up. No worries. I just did a sketch. You could even skip the sketch, Anju, if you want. You can paint the whole thing blue if you want. I was saying earlier that I just kind of like to plan out where my stuff is going, and it's kind of a paint saver to sketch things out. So I'll give one more minute, and then we're going to move on to some lily pads. That's what I do next. We used to catch them. Ooh, I've never caught a snapping turtle. I picked up a turtle before. It wasn't a snapping turtle, and then the turtle peed all over me. Then I never picked up turtles ever again. I was just trying to save him from the road, okay? He was on the road, and we pulled over, and I was like, here you go, and then he peed all over me as I was trying to save him. I was quite young, and I screamed, and I was not happy. My parents thought it was hilarious. They were laughing. I was, not funny! It's pee all over me! So I never picked up a turtle again. I just let them live. You can get the app for your phone as well. Lil Wolf, for Twitch, you're saying? I assume, yes, I think you're helping the Facebook people out. Yes, Lil Wolf on Twitch. You can get an app. There you go. If you'd like to watch on your phone. I do have the Twitch app too. It's kind of nice. So if you want to just pop me on if you're in there while you're cooking or something, just pop me on your phone. Whatever. Yeah, Twitch. Okay. You're helping the Facebook people. Again, Facebook, Twitch loves you. They're constantly saying, oh, the Facebook people, I want to know what they're saying. Some of them even sign into their Facebook profile so they can get in on your conversation. So they all love you. They all love you. But I don't want to deal. Yep. Hey, I'm missing it. Jules, no worries. You can catch up if you want. Let me know if you need help. All I've done so far, I've added blue. I kind of sketched out my layout, but the sketch is not necessary if you want to whip on some blue. All right, I think that was enough time, everybody, for the blue and the sketch. Again, Jules, don't hesitate if you need some help. I can definitely catch you up at this point. You're not too late here. I'm going to start doing some lily pads. So let us look at the lily pads. Let's talk about them, then we can actually paint them. So what I'll be doing, everybody, is I like to, once again, kind of lay down a plain color. Just like the blue, we had the one shade of blue, but this time it's green, of course. And then we're going to add some lighter tones and darker tones, okay? So we have just kind of like, I would say, a medium to dark green as the main green, and then what I do is I splice in some lighter greens and darker greens on top, okay? Bev, great question. Yeah, she said, please let us know when to clean our brushes. You can clean it now. I guess technically I am using the different brush. I'm using the one we sketched with, so yes, you can wash off that medium round brush. Thank you, Bev. Charlene, what that painting be a tutorial, Erin? Will it painting? The star one? Probably not. I can make an easier version of it. Happy to do that, but that one honestly took a long time, so I don't think it would be a good 2-hour one. I think everyone would be a little too rushed. But if you guys enjoy it, let me know. Again, that star painting, if you guys liked that layout and that look, I can definitely whip together something a little easier that wouldn't take as much time, so let me know. Okay, yeah, you can wash off your medium round brushes. Peed on by a turtle. Yep, that's me, CJ, that's me. And we're gonna make a green. So green is made by mixing yellow and phthalo blue. So I'm just gonna grab my yellow. I'm gonna use my, again, medium round brush here, and I'm just mixing together blue and yellow. I would say about equal amounts. Again, I would choose whatever shade you like, really. I mean, if you want some lighter green lily pads, of course, I would make your main color a nice light green. If you want it darker, make it a little darker. So to make it lighter, you would just use more yellow. To make it darker, you would use more blue. I'm just using about half-half, I would say. Because again, I'm putting in streaks later anyway. Gotta set everything up real quick. No worries, Jules. Again, don't hesitate to let me know if you need any help. And then need 1 minute adding white to my water. No worries. Can you repeat about green? Sure, Bev. So that was yellow and blue mixed together. Even amounts. Even amounts. I'm using my medium round brush. So this is where you can be a bit more careful. You saw with my sketching, I was like, I did them very quick. Now what I want to do is go a little more carefully just to get some nice clean edges. So I'm kind of re-sketching out my ovals here, following along with my little slits, of course, as well. And you can see just by clean lines, I mean that I'm making some nice clean edges by kind of pressing down a little harder with my brush, using a little more paint, that helps as well. Making some nice smooth lines as I go. And yeah, just trying to really clean things up. So you can see some of my sketching got quite messy here. I'm gonna bring this out here a little more. So this is your chance to clean it all up because the green will go on top of the blue. Green and blue are right next to each other on the color wheel, so even if your blue is a little bit wet, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. If the green mixes a little, that's fine. You'll just get a slightly different shade of blue, or different shade of green, excuse me. Just found a hair in my painting. There we go. Anyone with long hair, you know, just kind of sheds like crazy and all of a sudden there's a hair in your painting. Anyone with pets, I'm sure you can relate. Hair everywhere in your painting. I do not have pets, but I babysat my dog almost a year ago and still it happens. Still the hairs are floating around somehow. Little yellow lab. All those hairs that come out of that dog, man. It's pretty nuts. Doesn't matter how many times I vacuum, there's still hairs. Still hairs everywhere. Okay, so again, I'm just going a little slower now. Hopefully you are too. Just taking your time, really getting that nice shape that you want. Nice curves. Nice curvy lily pads. And you can fill them in with the green too. You can see I'm just kind of filling in as I go. And I'm going to do one at a time just to show you my technique of highlighting and stuff. Again, very similar to the water, so if you think you kind of got an idea, you can just go right ahead, but I will show you on mine. And I just want to make sure it's kind of a nice even oval, so I'm just going to have a look here. I think I need to bring it over here a little more. So when I say even, it's kind of it's a little difficult with the slit, right? You're kind of like, oh, where do I start and stop from the slit? You're pretty much just pretending it's a whole oval, right? You're kind of trying to visualize the completed oval here, so it just kind of curves around. You just want to make sure it continues all the way around. There's no like big bumps in the oval or anything, so that's why I have to look at it straight on, honestly. If I look at it from the side, it's a little difficult to tell, so sometimes I'll do this just to kind of make it look a little cleaner on my end. But as usual, it's never going to look exactly the same as mine, my reference, because I was able to concentrate much more on that one. Okay, Alyssa, better than your hair and your food, which happens as well. So, I mean, it all happens to me. Christy, I'm watching you from Cambridge. Yes, yes, welcome. Very local, very local. That's my general area as well. What's going on here too? That was a musk turtle. I don't know what it was, honestly. It was big. It was a big turtle. Hello, Grok. Leave the hair. Part of the texture. Get out of here. I have cats too. One of them stepped in the painting while I was painting, says Grok. That happens as well. The pets often want to be a part of your painting. They'll leave a little paw print. I think it's adorable, but probably messy. Texture. Oh no, the green is lovely and deep. Thank you. Such a cat thing. I know. It's so true. They just want to be part of it. They're just like, oh, me too, please. Bop. I don't own cats. I just know from everyone else talking about their cats as they paint. Okay, so if you want to add some highlights, again, I'll remind you what that looks like. So this is very plain lily right now, lily pad. This is more like a streaky lily pad. So I mostly did highlights, I would say. I don't even really remember doing any shadows because you can see I start off with a pretty dark green, but you can use this next step either way here. So what I'm going to do is I'm keeping that same brush, the round medium brush. No need to wash it off, by the way. I just use it as is. And I'm going to go to my plate. And you can do a number of things. I'm going to grab just plain white, personally. It turned a little green just because there was green on my brush, but I'll show you. Just even a little bit of white. Do a couple kind of streaks like this. See how it just kind of lays behind? It looks nice and soft. And I personally like to go kind of around the edges and do that. I really like the edge highlights. And you can see the more you do, the more subtle it'll become. So you can really take your time and do a couple different streaks here and there. You can do maybe some more in the middle, just kind of curving around with the shape. You can do that with plain yellow if you want. I find the yellow doesn't show up as much, but what it does do is if you kind of stroke over top a couple times, it makes a little more of a yellowy green. So just yet another shade to kind of mix in with everything. Same thing, I'm just kind of curving around, going around this, this nice split in here. And again, you can do this as much or as little as you want, just to kind of give it a little more, I think it's kind of a texture thing. Texture, perhaps? More of a blending thing, I guess, but yeah, you get it. Just an overall look of a little more variety in the green, right? Rather than a plain green. Again, adjust as you go. I just added a little more green there. So again, grabbing some more yellow. Let's just plop that on here. I really like to blend the yellow in. You can see I'm stroking over top a couple times. That just creates a nice yellowy green. So look at that, all these different shades in there now. Very pleasing in my opinion. I love all the different shades, all the different tones that we have. Do that as much or as little as you like. Title The Hairy Frog. Okay, Little Wolf, I'll consider it. Wrapping up work, just poured a glass of wine, might work on a work project in Lark. Okay, Two Shanes, dang, nice Friday night for you. Congrats on your workday. Wine, yep. Same cat always wants to drink the water and wash my brushes in while painting. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yep, animals, keep them away from the paint water. I heard that's a big issue too. I brought Arkham to the cottage and forgot to bring his toys. Oh no! Okay, I'm gonna shut down my laptop. I noticed it was getting a little fuzzy on Facebook, so I just want to make sure the quality is good for you guys. Lynn says love it. Alyssa says beautiful. Thanks guys, thanks guys. I'm going to go on to my second lily pad. Again, you can go at your own pace here. I just do one at a time. I'm going to do the one that my frog is sitting on now. And again, I'm going to be overlapping it. So I'm just going to put green over top if it happens to overlap on this edge, which I'm pretty sure it will. And then I'll do the same thing. So I'll just remind you about what I'm doing. I'm using the same brush. No need to wash it off still. Mix lots of green. That was yellow and blue. And I noticed that I kept all the slits like on the exact same side. They're all on the right hand side. If you want to switch that up for variety, please go for it. Honestly, I like variety more than having things consistent. I don't know how I managed to do that without noticing, but all of my slits are on the right hand side apparently. So I'm making this one nice and big just because our frog's going to be on there. It's still a pretty big lily pad, even just close to this one in size, but maybe just a little bigger, you know? I want to give that froggy lots of room later on. And I'm trying to overlap it just to keep consistent. Hopefully it didn't go on the floor. I don't think it did. I flicked the paint right there. I don't know if you saw. And I'm just going around like this. Again, overlap if you need. If it doesn't overlap, it's not like that's wrong. It's just your painting. It just kind of is laid out a little different, you know? Laying on the paint in the middle, filling it in. Oh, that slit's a little off. See, this is what you get when you're not really looking straight on. So I'm gonna just fix that up by maybe going here. Making it a little smaller. It looks a little more even. Yeah, I have lots of tarp on the ground, guys, and there's one tiny area just over here. If I happen to flick the paint in a certain way, it just happens to land on the carpet. Everything else is covered so nicely. Can't get it all, I guess. Don't have enough tarp for the whole place here. It's just unfortunate that it's all carpet, too. And you can see, even when I'm just using the plain green, I try and kind of keep the strokes going, you know, around the lily pad, see? So they're all kind of going the same way, because you can kind of see the strokes. So if you're to do like little zigzags and stuff, you might kind of see that, see? So instead I'm just kind of lightly brushing whatever direction the lily pad is going. So kind of circling around the edge. That's what I mean by where the lily pad is going. You can kind of do some V shapes here. And if you don't like these, this is just pressure. If you use less pressure, you can kind of get rid of them. It's just that you're using a lot of pressure. That's how that happens. The bristles kind of scrape. It's just kind of lightly wipe like that. That'll get rid of them. I'm just going to look at this to help even it out again. It's always this edge here on the left. Making it nice and round. Oh, it's getting even bigger, guys. It's growing. It's growing. My Pac-Man is huge. The slit is small. Big Pac-Man. There we go. Oh, that's a big one. That's all right. We got lots of room in this painting to play around. So, as a reminder, whenever you're done with your just one shade of green, you can just grab either white or yellow. And I didn't even mention you can grab blue if you want as well, but blue won't really help on mine because it's already dark. And it's the same thing. You're just kind of doing some quick little strokes, kind of curving around, going on this slit area here. You can bring them into the middle more if you want, but as again you can see, I do like to stick closer to the edge. It's like I'm kind of highlighting it in a way. Grabbing yellow with the same thing. Again, leave it prominent if you want, blend it in a little if you want, do a little bit of both. Add a little green, add a little yellow, get down tonight. Yeah, we're just gonna keep doing that. Do down tonight. Boo boo. Yeah. Again, not necessary. If you'd rather keep it clean, kind of more clean, just with one shade of green or maybe minimal streaking, that's your choice. It's your painting. Do whatever you like. Lily Calm, says Alyssa. Ooh. Brisha, is that correct? We just got on thinking it was at 8 p.m. Pacific. Just saw it's on Eastern. LOL. That's okay. Wanted to know if it will be recorded and available. It will be, Brisha. Sorry, that was mixed up there, but yes, it will be. So no worries. It'll be on my YouTube page, youtube.com/erinbunpaints. It'll be up probably by tomorrow morning, but in the meantime, Brisha, it will stay on Facebook. So if you find it on Facebook, great. If it's not on Facebook, just go to my YouTube page and it'll be there. It's always one place or the other, so no worries there. You can always catch up another time. Yeah, I've been trying my best to write EST everywhere, but I understand if it was missed. Totally. We got lots of people from all over joining in, so yep. Thanks for popping in, though, and yeah, no worries. You can always come in another time. Lynn, Froggy Baby, on YouTube after. Thanks for answering, Lynn. Again, you're all so helpful answering these questions. Thank you again. missing so much on Twitch here. Love some wine. Poor baby, give him a box. I don't have a box. I have a box of wine. Get out. The calm lily with frog as a name. Ooh, lots of good names today. Looking good. Going to do a little later. Have to put the kids to bed. No worries, Amanda. Thanks for popping in. Green Pac-Man. Yep, they are. VRB, no worries. Two Chains, get that wine, girl. Waka, 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 waka. Papa Pac-Man. Little leggy. Sorry, little wolf. Is it still laggy? Let me know what you think. Am I lagging? Same here too. Oh, guys, is it still a little laggy? Let me know. It looks pretty good on my end. Sorry if it went a little laggy there. Let me know what you think. I'm just going to continue with my last big lily pad. So I had one more up here. I'll watch the comments though. I don't know what I can do about the lag, just other than saying sorry, hope it gets better, honestly. I'm not doing anything different. If anything, I just shut down my laptop there, so that should have helped. It stutters now and then. Oh, sorry guys. You know, good news. I got a PC, everybody. I bought some PC parts and I'm going to build myself a PC. With some help, of course. And I'm wondering if that will help. Because I don't think it's my internet, guys. I really do think it's my computer that maybe kind of starts to clog up when I'm streaming on two different spots here. So let's hope that the PC really does help me there. I really think it will. I think like processing power will be faster. It's just a newer, stronger PC. I don't know much about PCs, but it'll be newer. I think it'll handle more. So I'm just doing the same thing, by the way, with the lily pad here. Anyway, yeah, I can't do anything in the meantime. Sorry. It might be because it's a Friday too. I do wonder sometimes if Friday night is like movie streaming night and maybe like internet gets a little jagged, a little jittery, you know? But anyway, we do what we can. We're still here. We're still painting. If you need me to repeat anything, if anything gets missed, just let me know. I'm doing the same thing though, guys, just covering with green. Doing my smoothing out, doing a nice smoothing step here. And then same as usual, same brush. Just, oh, sorry, that's a mess of an oval. I'm gonna fix that up. Oh, jeez. It'll be a miracle the day I can do a nice clean oval from the side. Let's have a contest, whoever can do the best oval by looking at the side. You'll know what I mean. If you ever try this, it's very hard, honestly. I like looking straight on here. And there's no way I can paint while looking into the camera. Everything's opposite. It's a little better. Great. Okay. Sorry. Again, same thing. White on the brush. A couple big streaks like this. Blend it in by brushing on top if you need to, or just leave them alone. Yo, Twitch. Facebook is saying it's good. For the first time, Facebook is beating Twitch in terms of quality. Ooh! Fight, fight, fight. I'm just kidding. Looks like one fortune cookie. Trying to eat another. Andrew said it says fortune cookies. That's funny. I was just saying Pac-Man earlier, but fortune cookies totally. Ooh, what's our fortunes, guys? I love when fortunes are like so vague. They just apply just everywhere. Or fortunes aren't really a fortune. It's just like, you'll have a good day. Like, okay, great. It's just not much. Get a little more creative with your fortunes, you know? Ah, Diane says good evening. Yeah, Lynn on Facebook says it's good, so... Nupar, thanks so much. You're welcome. That's true. Thank you so much for your time and talent. You're welcome, Lynn. You're so nice with your comments, Lynn. They really make me smile. Thank you. Okay. Oh, sorry. So much going on here, guys. Waka, waka, waka. Oh, yeah, the laggy stuff. All right, Bob Quote on Twitch. On Twitch, guys, I have a little function where if you type Bob Quote in the chat, it spits out a Bob Quote. Isn't it fantastic that you can change your mind and create all these happy things? How applicable? How applicable, Bob? Keep forgetting about Bob Quotes. Yeah. Prince Charming says Julesy. Nice one. Welcome, by the way, Julesy. Okay. Texture. Maybe CPU use. I think it is. Yeah, I have an older computer. Audio's fine. Just the image. Okay. Stream is fine. Be nice. Be nice, Wood. Another Bob quote. Be so very light. Be a gentle whisper. Take that as you will, everybody. It's been fine for me. Great. I'd love a fortune cookie. Right, me too. Jennifer, video quality is totally fine, especially for a calming paint night. Might not work if we were playing high-speed games, but it's chill for chilling. Thank you, Jennifer. For high-speed games, you're right, yeah. Might be a little troublesome, but yeah, for chill painting, it's pretty chill. I do appreciate when people bring it up just so I can monitor it, because, you know, if it were to be horrible, I mean, I think I'd call my internet service provider and say, what's going on here, you know? Okay. So, just so you can see, obviously, I have my 3 lily pads done. So before I do my lily, so it's going to stay kind of messy and white right here, I am going to do my small lily pads here. So you can see they do go behind the lily, and that's why I'm going to put them on first. So as I said earlier, we didn't sketch those out, but hopefully the big ones kind of gave you an idea of the shape, the general shape that you're looking for. The only difference is, of course, the size. Once again, these are totally optional. If you'd rather have just a very big painting with a few big items, you can keep them there, but I just thought a little bit of extra stuff maybe on the side and on the top left was good just to fill it up a little bit more and to give some variety of sizes. The one thing that's a little different is I did some very light green ones in addition to my dark green just to kind of play with them in terms of shade of color, and that's because they're very close together. I didn't want too many dark ones going on and kind of creating a big blob. So at this point, everybody, I would recommend washing off your brush. Everything is good here. Thanks, Phyllis. Facebook says it's fine, guys. Usually it's the opposite, just for context. Usually Twitch is like, it's good here, and Facebook is like, it's kind of jittery. So interesting, you guys. So I am washing off my medium round brush just for the sake of kind of cleaning it up. Even though we're using green again, sometimes it's nice to just kind of clean up your brush a bit, give it a fresh start here and there. So I would recommend that right now. I'm going to start with light green. It looks like I piled the light green lily pads on first. See how they're kind of in the behind, in the background, they're in the background. And then I put some dark green on top, okay? So if you want to mix a nice light green on your plate, you know how to mix green already. It's yellow and blue. You're just going to mix lots more yellow into the blue here. So I'm grabbing big scoops of yellow, mixing it in. See how it's turning a little more lime green? You can also, if you wish, grab some white. You can see that'll kind of lighten it in a different way. You'll see what I mean. The yellow kind of limes it up, makes it more limey, very bright, and the white kind of just lightens it. It's kind of a little bit of a different look. So I do a little bit of both. I put a lot of yellow in there, and then I do put a little bit of white as well, just to really kind of brighten it. So try both, see what you like better. It's been fine for me, cool. All right, that's good to know. There's probably just a little bit of a blip too. Maybe some of you didn't even notice. But yeah, I would love a fortune cookie right now too. This is making me hungry as usual. All my paintings make me hungry. There's always some sort of a food element to them, even when there's not meant to be. Heather says, even across the pond, it's great. Awesome, it's so good to hear. Across the pond. Heather, you're great. Here's my light green, okay? So you use whatever light green you like. Again, just lots of yellow, a little bit of white in there. Those all work. And these are kind of free-handed lilies, but again, you've kind of learned the shape at this point, so you're doing an oval, but just make sure you're leaving a slit in the oval. So I like to paint the slit as I go, so I do a little V shape, and then kind of complete with an oval. So this one's kind of falling off the edge, that's fine. I just pile there's about 6 there up top, and then I put 2 over there if you want to be exact, but just fill it up however much or little you like. If you overlap the white, that's fine. You can see that's what I'm doing here. Again, the sketch was more so just for a visual representation and to be a little more confident and to save some paint. So if you need to go on top, that's all right. 1, 2, let's do a little guy right here. Why not? A little mini guy. It's a backwards Pac-Man. He's going the other way. Waka, waka, waka. There he is. I'm going to do a small little green one just over here. I'll just do the oval. I'll pretend the slit's on the other side, you know? Okay, so I just did a few light green ones just so I could use the same shade each time. It was a little easier to pick up from the same shade. And before I do the dark green, I'm going to add the little highlights to these. So I do still do a little bit of streaking in them just to make them a little more blended. So I grabbed a little white on my brush. And obviously there will be a little less of this just because it's a smaller surface area, but same thing, I'm just kind of doing a couple little streaks, see that? Around the edges. You can do the same thing with white or with blue at this point because you have a lighter green. I kind of like the lighter look though. I think I'll just use whites and yellows personally. You can do like big streaks like that. You can leave it as prominent as you want or blend it in. Whatever you want. Again, it's all up to you. I can't say it enough. It's all up to you. I know it's always, you know, everyone always wants pretty much the same painting I have, and I get it. You want to get a similar design, but embrace the little tweaks. Embrace the small differences. It's what's going to make it your painting, right? Very nice painting, Erin. Thanks, Christy. Would Yo High Speed Game Stream win when PC is built? No. I can't wait for High Speed Sign one day again, or High Speed again, yes. How the turntables, I know, right? Nom. That looks so yummy, Kit Kat. Oh, great name for the painting, Across the Pond. True! Heather, was that on purpose? That's a great painting name, just Across the Pond, because we have a frog, he might be jumping across the pond. Oh, I love that. Thanks for pointing that out, Grok, and thanks for Heather for potentially accidentally giving us that idea. A happy accident, as Bob would call it. Jules, what's up? Okay, I'm gonna get started. I scratched in my lily shapes and stuff. How do I paint blue? Sure, so you're just using a large brush, Jules? You're doing a plain, like, blue-white mixture, so, like, even amounts of blue and white. And as I go left and right, back and forth, if you go on top of your sketch a little bit, that's okay. You can see I did the same. I got a little messy. And to do the streaks, that's kind of the step here, is that you add a little white to your brush, and you brush it on top of the blue. Or you add a little blue to your brush it on top of the blue, so that's where you get dark streaks or light streaks. And that's all on top of the wet blue paint. So if you want to do the whole thing first and then streak it up, you can, or you can streak as you go. It's all up to you. Alright, so everybody else, I'm just moving on to some darker mini lily pads, so I'm just going back to adding a little extra blue in my green. Same brush, no need to wash it. And I'm just going to pile on a couple more here. Let's do a slit there. So yeah, overlap them if you want. I like this look, having them a little more tight together and overlapped. So I purposely try and kind of squish them together a little bit more. Maybe I'll put one like right there. Nice big Pac-Man, medium size I guess, up here. And I just kind of filling it up as much as I want. Again, wherever I want. I'm just going to add another one maybe here. And I mean, I am kind of strategizing just in terms of gaps. I don't want to leave any, you know, I'm going to make this bigger because of that. I don't want to leave any blue gaps, you know? Or white gaps, excuse me. So if I have a big white space that I know is not going to be part of the lily, I want to make sure I'm covering it with green. But in theory, you shouldn't, right? Because we sketched out the lily itself. So in theory, the only white spots left should be where the lily is going. Evening that out a bit. Let's go here. Do a nice slit that way. There we go. Awesome. So that's about the number added. Again, about 6 up here. Yeah, I did 6 exactly. Cool. And then 2 over there. And if you like this look, add more. Again, you can add them right up next to the lily this way. Add some down here. I personally like a little bit of that blue showing, of course, because we spent that hard work doing the nice blend, so that's why I keep it there. Jules, okay, yep, let me know, Jules, if you need the next step or if you need any help with that. Just evening that out a bit. Okay, and then for the dark green lily pads, again, same thing. I'm doing some yellow on my brush, doing some white on my brush. Where'd my music go? Hello. There it goes. Whoops, that's the wrong way. That was interesting. So yeah, if you do like little mistakes with your streaking, they kind of look a little funny compared to the shape, just blend them in. Just use your brush and kind of move all the paint around, kind of blend them all into one solid color. And you can try again. Let's try again. It looks kind of nice with the nice pure white highlight too, so try that if you want. Really nice and bright. stack them on top of one another. Play around. It's a lot of fun just to play around with like layering on the colors, highlighting and stuff. Okay, so I'll give you some time for that. My one request here, I was just kind of doing this myself. If you have any lily pads on top of your lily here, try your best to kind of even out the paint a bit. So kind of stroke on top just to flatten it out so that you don't have any big blobs of paint, just because the blobs are going to take a lot longer to dry. And of course we do want this green to be relatively dry before we go in with our colors of the lily here, because we have some white petals. See this? We can always do 2 coats if we need, but it will be a little easier if the green is dry, of course. So just to save that trouble, you can just be taking your brush and just kind of wipe across. So I'm not using extra paint. I didn't wash it off, but I'm also not using extra paint. I'm just kind of wiping to grab any big blobs that might be going on here, so that when I go in with the white, it's not going to hit any big blobs of green. Okay. Heather, you're welcome, and yes, great name. So it was a happy accident. It's a great name. Across the pond, it's perfect. He's kind of like looking, kind of assuming across the pond. Again, he's could be hopping across it. I love this little guy. He's so cute. And this frog was a lot of fun to create, guys, on Twitch, because I had the idea of, first of all, I had the idea of a dragonfly, which turned out to be the other painting for Sunday. But it was someone in chat, I believe James, said, how about a frog? And I was like, you're right, that's such a good idea. And then the whole chat, all of us, we looked at photos of frogs and we were like, ooh, which one? We looked at like tropical looking ones, kind of like, you know, the ones with the big red eyes and stuff like that. And we all kind of settled on this one, this nice polka dotty green yellow one. So thank you again, chat. It was lovely collaborating with you on this design. Such a cute little guy. Yeah. Maybe we can name him too, or name your own frog. I love naming little animals in paintings. I think it's really cute. Really adds a personal touch. Okay, just giving another minute or two again because we added quite a few lily pads there. We're at 9 o'clock. We're right on time here. We don't, as you can see, this is a little more of a straightforward painting, not a whole lot going on in it. So we really just have the frog and the lily left. We will spend not a lot of time, but a fair amount of time on the lily, because you can see there's lots of layers and we do want the green to dry, so we'll need a little time for that. But in the meantime, we can work on the froggy. And I mean, that means you can think of other things to add too. If you're kind of inspired, you want to keep painting, maybe this ends a little bit before 10 or something, you want to keep going, you can add whatever you want. I almost added some flies around my frog, just some little like simple black dots with little wings or something. You could even add a little tongue, you know? He's quite literally trying to have a little snack. So feel free, again, get creative. You can start thinking of that kind of stuff. Could we do the lily now, Nupar? I would wait a little bit just because of the green. If you wanted to start down here, you certainly could, and I will after I do the sketch of the frog for sure. But the only issue is the green here. We see it's a little bit wet. It's going to affect the white, so that's why I'm giving it a couple extra minutes. Yeah. But I'm going to give you guys another minute for the pads, and then we're going to go down and keep working on stuff. We're going to sketch out the froggy. Because what I like to do, as usual, for those who have tuned in, the frog. Oh, we'll be doing the frog next, Nupara, yeah. What I like to do with animals, and like generally when I want a bright thing on top of a dark surface when I'm painting with acrylics, is I do a white layer first. So that's what I'll be doing with the frog. I'll kind of lead you through nice and slow the shape of the frog. We'll fill it all in with white. Then that way we can let him dry, go up to the lily, and then come back down for the little dots and the colors here. But yes, we will be doing the frog next, Nupar, yeah. Again, the lily, I would recommend leaving because we have the green that's still drying. If anyone has any questions thus far, let me know. I think we're all pretty straightforward so far in terms of steps. Got our Pac-Man fortune cookies, lily pads, the last thing to call them. They're green fortune cookies. Mm. Yeah, the fortunes. Like when it says like, you're a kind person. Is that really a fortune? That's like just, oh, maybe that's fact, maybe it's not. It's not really like determining the future. It's not like something fun to look forward to. It's just like, people admire you. Okay, thanks, fortune cookie. It's a nice little confidence boost, but I get those ones a lot where I'm all excited, like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Like, Am I gonna like find a job opportunity? Gonna find love? I don't know. And it's like, yes, you're an enthusiastic person. Great. It's not a fortune. Get better at the fortunes. Okay, so again, I can't check my reactions because I closed my laptop in hopes of helping the jitteriness there. But assuming you're all good, we're going to go on to the little froggy now. We're just going to sketch him out. We're going to use some white to color him in. And then, like I said, we'll go back up to the lily next. So I'm going to use a nice detail brush now. So this is where I'm grabbing my small brush here, my small round brush. And I'm grabbing white paint. Can't really even see that, but there's white paint on there, I promise. There we go. I'm going to show you the frog. Maybe I'll even keep it here, and we can kind of see it all come together. But yeah, so again, if you want to customize, even if it's not a frog you want, you can look up some Google images online. Try your best to just look on the outline of the animal, and you can add whatever you want there. Again, if it's a dragonfly, maybe you liked that idea, and you're like, why didn't you do a dragonfly? Do one, that's fine. Do some flies, do whatever else you find in pods. Do a little leech. I don't know. Do whatever you want. But I'll lead you through this guy here. So I'm going to look first at just the body. So I'm not looking at the limbs. I'll add the limbs kind of secondary. I'm just kind of looking at this shape here. So just kind of walking you through it first, and then I'll do it here. I think I'll start from the little butt here. The cute little pointy butt. We're going to do a nice curve that comes up to the right. So that's kind of the back of the frog. It does a little dip, and then comes up again. So this is where like the other eye would be. There's kind of like a little, a little curve for where the eye would be. I then do kind of like what I call a rounded triangle. So it's not a very big pointy triangle. It just kind of curves around to a slight point here. And then down here, I do, I guess, the neck. So another curve down here, kind of the neck and the large chin mouth area. And then another curve for the belly, so it kind of comes down further, and then just kind of meets up with the little butt over there. So I'll go nice and slow, just step by step with you. Charlene has a question. Oh, maybe not. My friend loves the Toronto painting. Sure, she could do the Eiffel Tower with the pride colors behind it. Oh, said she could do that? Yeah. Combine those two paintings. That would be beautiful, Charlene. Ooh, if she would like to post that, feel free to encourage her to. I would love to see that Toronto background with the Eiffel Tower foreground. That'd be very cool. Very cool. We're doing some koi. Oh, good idea, Julie. Yeah, fish, koi. That would be amazing. Just like in and amongst the water, maybe. Very nice. Okay, just gonna move a little over here. Good. I did a little dip as usual into my hair tie. That's like standard at this point. Alright, so again, starting at the little butt of the frog, we're going to go right around here. So I'm kind of going near the top of my lily pad, near the top, not the very top, just closer up. I'm going to do a little point there just to mark off where the butt is. We can start with a nice little curve coming up to the right. So see that? It's just like a nice subtle curve. It's nothing super deep. It just kind of comes up and over. Again, this is all white paint. If it mixes a tiny bit with the green, you might see mine doing that a tiny bit. Don't worry about it. It's more so that we're just getting a nice white outline and then a nice semi-white base. Sorry. Keeping it mute there. Sorry, CJ. Muting that. Hopefully that's still on. Come on in for 1 hour. There we go. Great. Continue to talk. There you go. Alright, so after the curve, I described this as a little dip. It kind of like evens out, so it kind of becomes a little more straight. So that's kind of the dip area, and then it comes back up again. So the dip is about here, so I just kind of move my brush further over to the right, move the paint further to the right, and it starts to come up again. So that's why it looks like a little dip. It kind of evens out and then comes back up. Okay? Okay, after the blue and the streaks, you do the lily pads or the flower. The lily pads, Jules, yeah. So you can do some plain green. That's going to be blue and yellow mixed together. And then you use some white on your brush just to kind of streak it in. So you just kind of move it around the outside, move it around that little slit there. You do the same thing with yellow, and that's what gives you the streaky highlight. Excuse me, if you need clarification on that, let me know. Give it a try, let me know how it works. Okay, after I bring it up, again, I'm doing kind of the curve of the other side of the eye here, so just very abruptly kind of curves back down. It's like a little, again, kind of like a rounded point, I would say. So it's like the little bump where the other eye would be. We don't see it because it's on the other side, but it's a little bump still. So that's the tiny little bump. Nice and slow. When you really break it down nice and slow, it's really not as hard as it seems, I find. Hopefully you're finding the same. And then I'll do, again, another kind of rounded point or rounded triangle, whatever you want to call it, just for the nose. Because they don't really have pointy noses, right? But it does kind of come to a rounded edge, right? So I'm just looking right around here. And that's this piece here. And see how it's still kind of going upwards, right? It's still kind of pointing this way. Everything's kind of going up this way. It's not quite straight. Unless you want your frog to be a little more straight, I kind of liked mine looking a little up this way. So you got the little rounded point for the nose. We have two of those rounded points now. We're going to do another curve kind of coming down to the left. This is like the little neck or mouth area. You know the frogs, they have those big rounded boop, boop, boop necks. Kind of like that. And again, that's just the neck. So I'm doing the kind of rounded curve and it comes right back up around here, maybe a little further. And again, when you fill this all in, you'll be able to see it all a little bit better. So give it a little chance. If you're worried about how it's looking, give it a chance, let it complete, and then see how it looks all together. It always looks different when it's all filled in with everything. And even more so when we put color on top. So give it even another chance too if you don't like it after the outline. Nancy, hey Erin. Oh, thanks Erin. We'll continue tomorrow morning. No worries. Have a nice evening and painting. Oh, you too, Nancy. So you'll leave the nice frog and lily for morning. Excellent. Can't wait to see. So after the curve of the neck, we now start a second curve to kind of come down for the belly area. So again, we're kind of coming down to the left. Sorry, a little shaky there. And I'm ending kind of like just before the butt here because I like to kind of straighten it out to bring it to another rounded tip personally. I kind of like the rounded belly. And then just a slightly separate piece for the back end there. So another bigger curve. And again, you can make your frog as round as you want. Maybe he's nice and full of flies. Maybe he's looking for some flies. Who knows? And then the last step, we're just kind of connecting to the tail end. So again, I describe this as another rounded point or rounded triangle, whatever you want. It's not there. Because he used to be a little tadpole with a nice big tail, right? He doesn't have his tail, but he still has kind of his rounded triangle at the back. So hopefully you can kind of see that body shape. We're only looking at the body. I'll add the limbs next, but that's the basic body shape. So I'll give a quick minute if you need to just really look at that, compare to yours. Again, using white is great because you now have a chance to alter things if you need, even if you need to shrink things up. Like redo lines in here, for example, and then you can cover the green. Cover using the green of the lily pad, but I'm liking my shape. I don't need to do that. Yep, Jules, let me know if you have any questions there. I know the lily pads take a little bit, so if you're taking your time, no worries. And you'll be pretty close to us, honestly, because I'm just doing the outline next. That's the next step after the pads. Okay. So I will fill this in with white. I'm just keeping it open just so you can really see the outline right now, okay? For the limbs, let me do some limbs for you. So we got 2 back legs and 1 front one. Let's do this top left one first. I think it's the easiest because we don't even have toes. We really just kind of do this shape here as if it's kind of a tucked in leg. So all we're doing is we're going from about this, the top of this curve here. We're going to bring a straight line out to the left. And then it kind of curves down and in. So it's just like a little tucked in leg. So once again, this will all be filled in, but I'm going to keep it outlined just so you can really see. So I'm starting near the top of that first curve that we did. Coming out to the left, down, and then tucking in. So that's kind of like 3 little curves here. So 1, 2, 3. So you can have a look at that shape there. Himbina, what you humming about? You liking it so far? Interesting? What is that guy? I always like doing the little hands. Concentration. Thank you so much. Looks great. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I'm really humming too. I like to when I'm doing my little animals. I like seeing them all come together. Alright, so let's do the second leg here. So I'm doing this bottom kind of back right hand leg. So a little different. This one curves out to the left. It's going to swing to the right, kind of straighten out. And then we do some little toes. Okay, so I'm starting just kind of like where the belly is here. So at the back end of the belly, I would say, kind of curving down to the left. Swings over to the right. It stays nice and tight, right? Because he's kind of like scrunched down. He's given a little, he's not quite hopping, right? He's kind of scrunched all in together. And then you can do some little toes. They have nice like webbed feet, right? I didn't really do webbing. I just did kind of longer toes. So just sprawling out a couple little streaks of color, streaks of white. I tried to fit 3 on there. If it kind of overlaps a little bit, then that's okay. But yeah, nice and tight. So you might have a little gap maybe right there where the leg kind of wiggles around there. But otherwise pretty tight in. I just did like 3 little toes here. They're a little long there. Yeah. Kit Kat. Oh, thank you. Thanks for little hearts. Says Nupar. We're all humming. Okay, and we've got one last limb. I'll just do that, and then again I'll give you another minute or two so you can see all the limbs. So this one you will see kind of inside the body. It's not necessary to do the outline first, but if it helps you can. So kind of it'll start in the body here. What it does is it comes just out to the right here. It's like more of an arm, I would say. It's kind of reaching out a little bit more. It's more like a human arm, kind of like bending at the elbow, reaching out. And then once again, I like to do some little toesies. So we go 1, 2, 3. And they all kind of sprawl out, kind of like a fork, right? They're all going, one's kind of straight out and the other 2 are angled, just so you know. Hopefully you see them coming together. Mine's like clutching the edge there. And being I'm not painting it, I'm enjoying the chill stream. Excellent, I'm glad. I know quite a few are starting to tune in just to watch. I kind of gained my following first on Facebook, Hambina, just for context. And it was pretty much everybody who was tuning in live was painting along with me, at least as far as I know. But I'm finding more and more people just kind of turn me on to chill out. That's perfectly fine. Maybe some people like to tune in first, and then what they do is they go to YouTube later to check out the tutorial. They can go at their own pace that way. But in the meantime, they watch so that they can be part of the conversation and also ask me questions. Like they might have questions that they know they'll have when they paint. So they ask me now, I answer it now, and then when they have the time to paint, they go paint. So it's a nice little mixture. I love that we're getting a nice large variety these days. It's really neat. It's really neat. Sherry, it's so cute, she says. Thanks so much, Sherry. And if you're painting along, I hope you think your froggy's a cutie too. All right, now that you've had a good look at the outline, I'm just gonna fill him in because that is the main point of this. We wanna give a nice white layer so that when we add the colors on, they'll be super, super bright. If we were to try to add yellows and even the light greens on top of this dark green, they might be a little more dim just because they're on a dark surface. So adding a nice white surface will help with the bright colors later on. So it might get a little confusing because you can see it turns into one solid shape, but I will go nice and slow when we do the colors just to really make sure you know where the legs went and where to separate the colors and stuff like that. So I'm just taking my detail brush with white paint and just filling her in, as you can see. And again, if you see a little green or a little blue kind of popping in here and there, don't worry about it. As long as it's mostly white or at least a very light shade of color, that's going to achieve the same effect. It's going to give you a nice base, a nice light base. So again, you can kind of see, you still see the shape a little bit. You might be a little confused with things like here and the limbs and stuff, but we'll go back to it. We'll go nice and slow with our colors. So no worries at all. And she's back. Gonna finish off some watercolor mushrooms and maybe start something new. Oh, so cool, Two Shanes. Can't wait. Enjoy your wine. Girl, it's Friday night. You're done your work. Amaze. I'm excited for you. Mushrooms, those would be cool. I had requests for like toadstools and stuff recently. I guess thinking to frogs and thinking of like squirrels on toadstools too, so maybe soon. And once again, kind of similar to the lily pads, I request that you kind of smooth this out so that you don't have any big blobs of white, so just make sure there's no big blobs left behind just to ensure you're drying a little quicker and to have a nice even surface. I'm going to pull this down now just so you can see overall what it's looking like. Your green should be dry at this point. Mine is bone dry. If yours is not, you might want to get out a hair dryer or just be prepared for the idea that a little bit of green might mix in with the white as we go. You can always do a second coat if you need to, but it might be easier just to really dry up the green here. Excuse me. Lisa, you have a really relaxing voice. Oh, thank you! Wow, that's one that I haven't gotten before. I remember listening, as everyone does, they listen to their voice for the first time on a recording or a voicemail recording or whatever. I remember being like, what? That's my voice? I don't think it's soothing at all. But thank you. I'm glad you find it relaxing. That's really funny. I feel like that's just with everybody, though. Whenever you hear your own voice, it's just like, shocker. You're just like, what's going on? Oh my gosh, that's not what I was expecting. It's just giving one more minute here for the frog in case you're fixing him up at all. And we'll go on to the lily here. Fairies, gnomes. Oh yes, Charlene, I know you've been into your fairies, gnomes. That would pair well with the mushroom, wouldn't it, too? Some fairies, maybe a little fairy around there. We just need a nice, like, whimsical painting, don't we? Fairies, gnomes, again, like squirrels, toadstools, all of the above somehow. I'll see if I can, like, fit them all in somehow without making it too complicated. But I think that would be a lot of fun, doing all of those things. Nice little, like, woodland forest type theme. I think that would be cute. I did do a forest one near the start of my tutorials, I guess, but there wasn't a whole lot going on in terms of like whimsical woodland creature type stuff, so maybe I'll revisit that theme. Okay, so if you are ready, I would prep by grabbing some white paint. We'll be using lots of white, and I would pour a little bit of red as well. White is the main color though, because we're using lots of pinks. So we're using lots of white and maybe just little bits of red here and there. I will be continuing to use my medium round brush, so you can prep by washing that off as well. Oops. Making sure all the green is out. So even if you have dirty paint water, guys, like I use the same paint water the whole time. You can see how green it is. It's quite swampy in there. It's quite appropriate for the painting. As long as you're using a paper towel or a towel and really getting the dirty water out, you can see the bristles look green, but it shouldn't affect my white. So as long as you're really drying it out, you'll be good. You should do a fairy garden. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Celine. Like something like mystical, magical. I don't have my notebook on me. I'm literally just going to type it into a URL here just so I remember. Woodland, because I know I have gnome written down. What did you say, Celine? Sorry, I know I'm switching tabs. It might affect the glitchiness a tiny bit. Fairy garden, thank you. Thanks. Okay, great. I like giraffes and flamingos. I know I have flamingos on there. I'll write down giraffe just in case. Thanks. Shanks. I have a big list of themes is what I have, so any suggestions, that's where I write them down, and then I just kind of look at them as I'm painting on Twitch and decide what I'm doing that day, so think more about the woodland fairy, yeah, type thing. Okay, so again, I'm going to pop this up so you can have a look here. Hopefully it stays. Maybe we can keep it here so you can see the overall look. Over there. Okay, it's going to be a little tilty, but you get the idea. You can see. So, thinking of this lily pad here, or the lily, excuse me, I've done all the pads. It's a little layered. So what I did for the layers is I did some very, very light pink to white as the first layer. So these nice big petals here. So I'm going to do a whole layer of just white ones. And what I did is I stroked some kind of light pink so that I have some white tips but some pink coming up. See that? It's a nice little like fade, a little blend going all the way up. Then what I did is I just grabbed a little bit of a darker pink, did another layer of little petals. And then I did another layer of really dark pink, really hot pink. And I did some ones, you can see these little nub ones down here. What these are, I was trying to give some depth. I was trying to get some petals that kind of are coming at us. So they look like short little petals, but really what I was trying to achieve was kind of the curve here as if it's coming at the camera or at the viewer. So you really only kind of see the one angle here. It's just a little curve, right? But it's kind of like swooping at you, you know, it's going like that. So that's what those are. And then we'll do a little bit of a middle here. I don't know if this is traditional to a lily. I just kind of liked the idea of like a pollen kind of orangey yellow middle. So I'll teach you that, and that will be pretty much the lily. So just kind of layer by layer, step by step. A fall fox as well. Oh, I've got fox on there, and trust me, Celine, when fall comes, I'm doing all of the orange things. All of them. It's gonna be great. Christy, have to go now. Have a good night. You too, Christy. Thanks for popping in. Alright, so let's start. So I'm just using the medium round brush. I've got just plain white paint. And once again, I'm going to be a little more careful with this now. You can choose maybe a middle. That would be a good idea. So if you want to just use a little dot of white or a little circle of white to show yourself where the middle is, that's great. And I guess to make things a little easier, I'll start with the nice middle, and then I'll go over like this. So I'm going to start with a petal going straight up and down. So these petals of the lily, they're nice and curved on the edges, and they come to a little bit of a rounded tip, okay? So you can start wherever you want. If you want to start at the tip, you can. If you want to start from the middle, I'll start at the tip. That way I know how long it's going to be. So it kind of curves out and in, out and in. You can see they're a little bit wider compared to the other petals. You can see the first few petals in the background there are nice and wide, so don't hesitate to really like curve them out and in like that. Out and in. So I know a tiny bit hard to see because it's white on white, but hopefully you get the idea. And again, you might see maybe a little bit of blue through. Two options. You can kind of pile on a little more white paint and just use a small amount of pressure, and that way it lays on a little thicker. Hopefully you saw that difference as I added there. Or you can just kind of note to yourself that you'll go over later and do a second coat. So that works as well. Where's the red? There we go. So each petal kind of has two steps. So the first step, sorry, I have a nice peel on here. Yeah. I love peeling the paint off. Sorry, it gets all plasticky and it all comes off in one big nub. Look at that. So nice. Anyone else can relate, maybe? Each petal has two steps is what I was trying to say. We have the white, and then what I do is I streak in some pink so that we still have a little bit of pink there, but it still stays nice and light. So once I have the white petal on, what I do next, without washing the brush, I just grab the tiniest amount of red. We don't need a lot, it's just right on the tip of the brush. And from the bottom, I streak up. That's even a lot of red, honestly. I'm gonna wipe my brush off. I try and kind of streak it up into the white so that it kind of fades off. I keep a nice white tip, but it has a nice kind of light pink kind of middle and bottom here. The bottom will be covered, so you don't worry too much about that. It's more so just this part. You can see it's starting to fade away, right? If you add too much, like maybe I did, I thought I added a little too much, you can grab more white, just stroke it on top. You can blend it down or blend it up, whatever you want. That's a little bit better. Because remember, we have all these bright pink ones in the middle, so I try to keep it very, very subtle to begin with. Okay? I'm there, yeah. All fall, man. All fall I'll be doing that. I love fall colors. So I'll be making all the beautiful fall paintings. All of them. Okay, so you can just kind of continue on. I'll go, again, as usual, just one at a time here, but all you're doing is you're now just moving some petals further to the right, further to the left. These ones you can see, they're kind of tight, but they do space out on the ends, and that's really what I'm looking at are the ends of the painting here. Oops, so I'm going to have a little gap here. I'll show you what to do with that in a second. So same thing. I'm starting from the middle, and I want to make sure they're kind of coming straight from the middle. So if you want, you can kind of use your brush and make sure it's coming straight out like this. Doing two little curves. Filling in. And then grabbing a tiny bit of red. Stroking up. So again, it might look a little tight in here. As long as they're kind of separated up there, that's what you're looking for. See this little white spot? That's a gap. Oopsie daisy. That's okay. That just means I was very messy with my sketch, which I was, to be fair. And maybe I didn't plan out my lily, or maybe my lily just changed, you know? That's all right. So just to fill in gap, if you want, you can do this as you go or do this later, maybe all at once. You can just take a little detail brush, grab your medium blue, and literally just fill in the gap just so there's not a big white spot. It helps you see the petals a little better, so I'm gonna do that just to tell myself that that's filled in. But again, if you'd rather wait till the end for that, that might be a little bit of a cleaner idea, but I'm just gonna do it as I go so that you can really clearly see what I'm doing. You can see that I'm not, purposely leaving those gaps. Oh! What have we got going on here? We glitched again. It said error 3000. Oh, Twitch, you can refresh. Sorry about that. Erin, I'm watching in between DVD matches. It's on. Excellent. I'll join in. Etterfolk, welcome. Etterfolk, I'm not sure if I've seen you around before. Welcome in. Welcome in. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, I'm just going to continue with some more little petals here. What are you guys playing live on Jackbox? Can't wait. Hopefully you're all still awake enough when I'm done here. So I'm just doing my left hand petal now, same thing. You can also note that they're getting a little shorter. I find I like the tall one right in the middle, and then I get them a little shorter as I go around. But still trying to keep that nice point, rounded point even, and then the nice curves on the edges. Same thing, grabbing a little bit of red, gonna stroke it upwards. Ooh, I grabbed a little yellow there by accident. Kind of nice though. Oh well, I'll keep it. That was an accident. Happy accident, very much so. Love you too, life. Whee! Going back to tell the match be back. Okay, I'll message you later. You think, Croaky? All the love tonight. Oh, gonna be good. Gonna be good. Okay, so I'm gonna do yet another set of petals on the right and left here. Same thing, working from the middle. So I like to, again, start from the middle. Kind of retell yourself where that middle is. It helps really keep things nice and lined up. All coming to the same spot. Again, you can see my petals are getting a little shorter as I go. I'm still keeping them nice and tight to one another. I want them nice and full. There's one. And again, I think I'm going to have a gap here. That's okay. I'll fix that up. That's what happens. Even despite all of our planning, I did a very messy lily, to be fair. I really whipped that on. So I'm not surprised I have some gaps here and there. 1, 2. And you can do 2 at a time. See how I did 2 there? When you get a little quicker, a little more confident, just do 2 or 3 petals at a time because the white will stay wet for a couple minutes, right? So as long as you can get the petals on in that minute or 2 time frame, you can then go in and streak in your pinks. See it coming together? Hopefully. Again, I'm just re-adding a little white just to really brighten it up. You can really lay on the white nice and thick, or again, you can go in later with a second coat. Either one works. It depends on what brand of paint you use too. I have a very basic academic acrylic, so it's a lot, oops, it's a lot thinner. Whoopsie daisy, there we go. So if you have a thicker white, you might not even need to use all of those tips there. That might be just okay on its own. There we go. I think I'll do, one more set of petals. I'll make them a little thinner as well, so they're not quite as wide anymore, getting them a little thinner and a little shorter again. They're kind of like coming to the sides now. See these guys here? And interesting, I know when I was painting this on stream on Twitch last week, or was it this week? I don't know. The days kind of mold together. Everyone was saying, oh, is that a lotus you're doing? And I was like, no, it's a lily. But you could totally make this into kind of a lotus design. I feel like it was this first bit people were kind of saying it looks kind of like a lotus. So if a lotus is more your style, feel free to customize, you know? Even if it's the lily flower you want to customize, do it, do it. So again, these ones are pretty much going like out to the sides at this point. I'm trying to keep them even, so I'm just kind of checking my camera constantly, making sure these are about the same length. I find that's pretty important, at least when they're like pairing up, you know? You're trying to keep them relatively similar. Same thing, grabbing a little red. Just a tiny bit is all you need. Again, we're using the bright pink Slater, streaking up into the petal. And this way you get some layers too. Like even though this middle part's gonna be covered, because we keep kind of streaking like this, we're kind of creating new edges to the petals. So hopefully that's allowing you to see the different petals even though they're all kind of squished together. It does help, in my opinion. Let's see the layers there. Yes. What brush are you using for the flower? This is the medium round brush, Jules. Yeah. You can use really whatever you want. I like this one because it's a little smaller. It's a pointed tip, of course, so it gives you a little more control for the pointed tip of the petals. But also, the medium-sized bristles, they kind of help with smoothing things, you know? If you're to use a detail brush, you might get more like this. The bristles kind of move the paint around and kind of create little see-through areas, transparent areas, but when the bristles are a little more wide, they allow it to glide a little better, just like that. Yeah, kind of covers up a little nicer. Would, phew, back just in time to see the lotus being painted. Get out of here. Oh, man. Again, if you want to paint a lotus, you can, but I'm painting a lily. Alright, so I'm just down on the bottom few petals now. See these guys? I think they're actually uneven. How dare I? Yeah, I didn't even really do a straight up on 1, 2, 3, whatever. I'm gonna try and keep it even for you guys. If you want to offset them a bit, kind of like I did maybe accidentally here. I guess there's kind of two too. There's a little slanted the other way. Yeah, do what you need to do. Same idea though, we're just still using white. Here I go. These ones, the only difference, I would say they're a little longer, because they're kind of coming like out at us, right? They're kind of a little more flat, I imagine actually, so they're coming out but flat. And these ones are shorter because they're kind of coming out and up at us. They kind of curl up in a way. So I was talking about these ones before. Whereas these ones I imagine are kind of flat to the water. So again, I might have a gap or two in the blue. I'll just fix that up later. I'm going to overlap on top of my lily pad. You can as well if you need to, if it's a little longer. So I'm doing about 4 of these. Again, that might be a little different from here. I think I kind of offset them a bit more, but you do whatever look you like. Look you like. Whatever look you like. Filling in with white. Again, trying to keep some nice clean edges against that nice blue background. I'm going to do all 4 at the same time just to show you how speedy you can be if you want. Then I'll take a little pause just in case anyone needs to catch up. Oh, look at that. I offset them again. Just couldn't diverge from my original, so these ones are a little more slanty that way. That's fine. Go. So I whipped on 4 there, and I'm just going to now put on my little pink streaks. Yo, wood, wood, wood. He might be playing a game, I'm not sure, because he said back just in time. I have a feeling we got some DVD players coming in and out. So same thing, just a tiny amount of red stroking from the middle outwards. And if you really like the pink, stroke it all the way out. I just personally like kind of the lighter tip, so I kind of stop about halfway, 3/4 of the way up. And then re-add white if you need to. Wow, that is a little uneven, isn't it? I'm going to lengthen that a little bit. So again, I always like to try and make them about the same lengths if they're in the same areas. I might bring this one a little lower down as a result. And then I'm going to clean up with my blues again. That was my mistake. I didn't plan ahead too well. Or maybe things just changed as I went, and that's cool too. You can use your detail brush or the medium size. I'm just trying to mix a similar blue. And just to make it kind of cohesive with the other blue, I'm just kind of streaking it over to the right here. You might see a little bit of it. You can change it up by adding a little more blue if you need to darken it, streak it up. Adding streaks is kind of an easy way to camouflage it, kind of like that, right? And I guarantee you're going to be the only one that sees that kind of stuff. When you show this painting off, no one's going to notice that you put the extra blue here. They're going to be like, it's beautiful, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about when you said mistakes or that you added stuff. Like, nobody notices. It's only you. But yeah, do your best just to color match it, you know? I think I have a little yellow in this by accident. Oh well. So just cleaning it up so you can really see the shape. You can do this later, as I keep saying. It's a little light there. Keep adding. Okay, so just giving a minute as I fix things up, but also for you to do your last few petals, and then we're just going on to the next ones. As we go, it's going to get a lot quicker. This first little bit was just to really shape out the whole lily, of course, and now it's just going to be kind of layers inside of it, so a little bit quicker, I expect. There we go. A little cleaner. I still think this one's a little short. It is so easy to follow you, says Phyllis. Thank you, Phyllis. I try my best. It's always, it's like I have many goals apparently, but one of my goals is to really help people impress themselves. Like, hopefully they look at the painting being like, I don't think I can do that, you know? I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do that. And then they come in, they're like, oh, but I can, because it's all broken down nice and slow and I can go at my own pace. So I'm glad you think it's easy, and I hope it's giving you some confidence, girl. Some confidence in painting. Okay, give it a quick minute, then I'll go on to my next layer here. You painting along? No, playing DVD. Want to though, don't have the paints. That's okay. Can play, also hi. Play what? I think DVD. You can do real quick playing Apex with homies. Thanks for shouting about life. Thanks for shouting out James there. I think sometimes if you shout it too quick, you're just quick on the keyboard, girl. I think it takes a little pause, but it will go eventually. Yes, thank you. Is Joe here too? Shout her out anyway, but I don't think Joe's here. I haven't seen her. She isn't in this chat, but she is in my ears. Okay, perfect. Tell Joe hi, yes. Yes, get it on that. Perfect. Late night, late night, late night. Let's do it. Okay, everybody following along. I'm going to do my second and then third petal layers. Again, I expect these will go a lot quicker because you kind of know the shape now, and this is just using kind of slightly darker colors inside of the main shape. I think the hardest part is shaping out the actual lily. Now we're just kind of working on the inside. So what I'm doing with my brush, you don't need to wash it off. You can keep the same kind of light pink on there, or white, whatever you had. We're just mixing now kind of a medium pink. So I would say a little bit of red, still lots of white. See that? So it's more of like a light to medium, because we still want to leave a nice hot pink for the middle. Now all we're doing is we're doing another layer of petals. They're going to be smaller, and they're all kind of inside of the shape. They might have some points coming out depending on how gapped your petals are, but we're really just kind of going along the top edge here, and I don't even do a bottom edge of the second layer. It's the third layer that I do that last edge, so we don't need to worry about that. If you like the look of this lily, I did do them, again, kind of offset. So I tried purposely to put the points in between the other petals. So see how it kind of is nestled in between? But same thing, they're all pointed, they have little curves. They kind of meet all in the middle. They get a little cluttered here, but they're all separated at the top. And I do something a little opposite this time. So rather than streaking in the pink kind of coming from the bottom to the top, this time what I like to do is streak in a little white at the top. I don't know if you can see it, very subtle, but what I will do is just take a little white on my brush and kind of brush it on the tip tops, and that way there's a nice little highlight. Once again, just yet another shade of pink. Again, all the beautiful shades of pink in here. So I'm just kind of, again, going from gap to gap, doing a little extra point in there. how many do I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like there's about 6 there. I would just go until you have your gaps filled. Let's say that. So not going these down here, not doing these gaps, but kind of like the upper half gap. So I'm going to do one more here. And one more over here. So as you can see, once again, I did all of the petals just because I'm going a little quicker now. And they will stay wet for a couple more minutes, so I still have some time, but I'm going to go right in right now anyway. And I washed off my brush, grabbed a little bit of white. Even less white than that, it's kind of blobby. But point is, at this time, I'm just kind of going on the tip tops and brushing downwards. So just leaving a little bit of a semi-white tip. It won't be white, of course, because it will kind of mix with the pink. That's kind of what I want anyway. But it's just a nice little highlight on top. Just yet again, a nice little blended area. There's a lot of nice blending in this painting. I want to keep that theme going. Blending, if life is still here. Oh, what's going on here? I saw no stress, Erin. What's going on? What's going on? You're stressing me out. Let me see. Yes, when Erin is done streaming, it's time for us. Yay! Ah, yee! Nice. When Erin is done, ooh, no stress. Blending. Should be soon. I'll let you know. I think we said like 10:30 is a goal. Definitely 10:30. Take your time in DVD. Have some fun. Blending. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Groki. Oh, that emote is so appropriate for CJ. Yeah, so it looks like it's a little shorter. What's going on? It keeps getting longer over here. So just make those adjustments as you go. I'm trying not to worry about mine too much just because I could worry all day about mine and then you're all like, come on, what's the next step? So just so you know, just keep an eye on that kind of thing. Trying your best to keep things nice and even lengthwise. A little better. What's going on Facebook? Erin, have to go. We'll finish tomorrow. Oh, Andrew, no worries. You have a nice evening and thanks for everything. See you on Sunday. Excited for Sunday's meeting. Me too. I think a lot of people are. So I'll see you there. Take care. Bye for now. Have a great night. Heather's here. Hi, Erin. So pretty. Welcome in, Heather. Thank you so much. We're almost there. We're just getting our third layer on our lily done. Then we'll do the middle and then we just kind of fill in the frog. We have the frog shape, which was probably the hardest part. We just get to pretty him up after this. So I'm excited. I know it's James Bond, CJ, it's just funny. The Christmas element, you know. Cute, Chad is cute, isn't it? Welcome in, nice man. Nice to see ya. I love your little Ruben, though. He's so cute. Looks like a little panda. I don't know if it is a panda, but he's cute. Happy face. I'm seeing the GoldenEye theme in my head. She's from that one. Is she not? No, she's not. She's not. Yeah, Die Another Day? I forget. It's one of the Pierce Brosnans. Okay guys, so third layer of the petals here. Very similar to the second layer. The only difference is we're going in with a nice dark pink now, nice hot pink. You can see we still use the white to highlight the tops a little bit. Hopefully you can see there. But yeah, hot pink now. And then the other difference is we do these kind of curly petals, which honestly are a little tricky just to describe, but I'll do my best for you. Hopefully you understand the concept of them. That's the main thing. Okay, so I've got my medium round brush. I'm now mixing a nice hot pink. So mostly red with a little bit of white this time. And then same thing, I kind of offset once again. So I'm almost like lining up with the white petals, if you want to think of it that way. Trying to fill up the gaps of the second layer here. Once again, I would say my petals get a little thinner. They're obviously a little bit shorter. They're just smaller in general, little mini petals. So again, you can see a little hot pink on top of that medium pink. That was lots of red, a little bit of white. It might blend a little bit because we have layers of paint here. Embrace it, allow that blending to happen. As long as you can see the next layer on top, it's all good. If it mixes a little as it goes, I think it just adds all the blending. So yeah, nice little mini ones this time, all coming to the middle. And we got one more, maybe like here. So, what's gonna happen here? Sorry, I'm doing two more and then I'll talk about it. Actually, let's do, so I'm going to do these top ones as I've done. You can see I did some little curvy ones down here as if I'm starting to do the ones that kind of come at us. These are kind of coming like this. So they kind of curve up this time. Instead of curving opposite sides into a point, they're both curving the same way and then hitting at a point at the end. So before I go to the bottom here, I'm just going to add my little white highlights as I described. So just a tiny bit of white on my brush, stroking on the top here. On the tips, there we go. Just gives it, again, a little bit of a difference factor on the tops there. Do, 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 do. I like Twitch feathers, says Heather. Heather, you're on Twitch. Heather, you have a little VIP badge. You're special. Whee! Gotta work again. Yep, no worries. No pandas here. They look like little pandas. Yeah, CJ, you want to play? Grace, hello, welcome back. I'm liking the frog shape. I didn't at first, and my flower's really wonky. I changed my shape when I started painting, so I have a lot of white. No worries, that's kind of me too. I'm thinking mine's a little wonky. I would spend more time on this, but I want to make sure we're getting the steps in for everybody here. So no worry, Grace, it's all good. Seeing this reminds me of Thumbelina. I was talking about Thumbelina on a stream recently. That's so interesting, Kit Kat. Yeah, with the little frog guys. I didn't like the frog guys in Thumbelina. I thought they were a little, like, creepy, honestly. I like Twitch better, yeah. Dinner watching Kill Bill, make exceptions. Yes, you can play, CJ, yes. Good ones in your head. So excited, she is awesome. Didn't know it was the VIP. Yeah! It doesn't mean much, Heather, but it's just a little badge you get, and you can post some links and stuff. Remember, I don't know if you've seen it before, sometimes when people post links, they get, like, auto, not banned, but, like, their message gets automatically deleted. It means I trust you to post links. I know you're not spamming, so there's a few other little benefits. Lodge you on Discord, no more pandas, yeah, 0. That's a panda, get out of here. Look at him peeking. I want that guy, Rupeek. So cute. All the pandas. Pandas are my favorite. Sudha, can you do a sunflower one day? She does sunflower emoji. Yes, I can. That would be great. I'm going to write that in my little open tab here and make sure I have it in my list. I love sunflowers. They're so pretty. Okay, back to here, guys. So I just wanted to kind of go through what these are, because again, they might be a little funny for some, and honestly, I'm not sure if I really captured what I wanted. I kind of see it, but sometimes I don't. So when you're looking at a lily pad, kind of like up from above, you're going to get some kind of curling, some petals curling kind of up on the back, which is all what we've done. They kind of curl up like this. They get a little shorter as they curl around. But then you have the ones that are curling up at you, right? So you're going to see kind of the bottoms, or the insides rather, kind of the inside of the petal like my palms. And they kind of curl up and you kind of see just the tips. So kind of look at my hands. Right? Look at that shape. You know, it's a very bunched up shape. Even though you can kind of see the inside and then the other side, it all turns out to be a very bunched up shape, right? So that's what these are. I tried my best to do that bunched up shape to see the curve of the little petal. So it might be a little tricky just to kind of visualize, but try and go with me here. And I think once you have it on, you'll kind of see it a little better. So essentially all it is, it's like you're making a tiny mini petal with two little curves going the same way. So rather than doing an outside curve and an inside curve, you're now doing two curves kind of going the same way and then meeting up. And again, very short, because again, my hand is the demonstration here. Inside, outside. It like looks like a small little nub of a petal. So I'm just going from the middle. Again, curve, curve, like that. Very like wide as well, so really make a nice wide petal. Right? Again, I'm just using that same hot pink. It looks a little hotter actually, so I'll try and get my others to match. There we go. And then I'm going to do one going the other way. So curve, curve. Again, very short, very wide. It's just hard to kind of visualize that without creating an inside of the petal and the outside, I guess. But hopefully you can kind of see it when it's all put together. I know it looks a little funny, but I think it would look even funnier if they weren't there. And that's why I added them. Excuse me. And then once again, we can grab a little bit of white. I just put it right at the tips again. Blend, blend. Okay? Just so you understand that. I know it's a little funny over there, so I wanted to make sure you all understood that one. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Lynn. Oh, we're 5 minutes to 10. I think we'll be just after 10, guys. Oopsie. Sorry, my computer did something funny. We'll be just after 10 here. We have the rest of the lily and just the coloring of the frog, which you can do however you like. All the pandas. So fun. I guess I got it by watching so many replays. Haha. I gave it to you, Heather. I choose who gets them. I choose. You're special. I didn't know you watched the replays on Twitch, so that's exciting. I'll try and put up more for you. Heather, I stream way more than you see the videos on Twitch, and it's because I have copyrighted music playing, because I like my own tunes, and Twitch very recently started like punishing people if they use copyrighted tunes, so I'm trying to be very careful. But I'll try and play copyright-free music more often to save some for you, because you might want to watch what I'm doing elsewhere other than tutorials, so I'll get ya. Alright, last little step in the lily, guys. Again, I don't even know if this is proper lily fashion. I just like the idea of having kind of a yellow middle in my flower, so I just added some little yellow streaks on top of my hot pink, and it almost looks like kind of pollen in there. So that's what I'm going to do here. You can even add a little more red if you want to make it even darker in the middle, so let's go ahead and do that. Just red on top of your pink, so it makes it even darker right in the middle, just kind of streaking upwards, laying it right on nice and thick. And then, that way you have a fresh amount of yellow too for this next step, or a fresh amount of red rather. Next you can grab some yellow on your brush. You can see I didn't even wash it off, I just grabbed yellow right on it. And I just kind of do some little streaks coming up like this. I'm just kind of flicking my brush, using the very tip, anywhere in the middle, going flick, flick, flick. And again, I expect that it will mix with the red. That's what happened here. I have kind of some orange tones, but I definitely have some yellow tones sticking around. That's why I'm using lots, and I'm just kind of lightly flicking it on. If you want it to be even brighter yellow, you could use a yellow mixed with a little bit of white. So I'm going to do that just to demonstrate. It'll help stick a little better, because the yellow might turn a little transparent. So yellow with white, lots of brightness there. Just streaking kind of up like that. Again, that might not be traditional lily, but this is my lily, and I know I wanted a little bit of a yellow middle, so there you go. Not to worry, it is the weekend. It sure is, Lynn. Allison, yes please, a sunflower would be awesome. Ooh, okay, so a couple of you would like that, yeah. That would be a nice one for summer. I should really just get on that, shouldn't I? Yeah. I'll try and visualize a nice sunflower. I'll try and think of some background colors. Just a nice simple sunflower, I assume. Just like kind of a nice big bold one. That would be really pretty. Let's do it. Maybe I'll try and whip that up on Twitch tomorrow. Heather, well, I'm honored I like hanging out. We'll be painting up a storm after I finally move no place. Oh, Heather, I'm sorry you still haven't found a place, but all good. You know I'll save these videos all for you. All of them. Gets out his glow sticks and gets down. Yeah, these beats are fun. Alright guys, so that's the lily pad completed. Again, if you need to go back and re-add some layers, honestly you can see there's a little bit of transparency in mine. I think it's just because I was very messy with my sketch and I had a lot of blue to go over. You can easily, I'll show you a quick little difference maker here. Look at even just a couple strokes of white right on top. So bright now compared to the others. So if you really want to clean it up, definitely you can do that. Let it dry a little bit longer and you can go back later and just put some little white tips everywhere and get all the clean edges. But do want to move on to the frog just because I can see we're 1 minute till 10, so I want to make sure we're sticking about 2 hours in here. Let's switch these around, that way you can continue to see both. So, as I said earlier, we have the frog shape. You can do whatever you want with the frog coloring. Again, I chose more of like a tropical frog. We had a big debate in Twitch chat saying, oh, the tropical frog might not be on a lily pad, it would be in the tropics. But again, it's my painting. I'm going to do what I want, and you should do what you want too. I'm going to do a nice colorful frog, and if you want to do more of a traditional, just kind of dark green type frog, again, an even more tropical frog than mine, do it up, do it up. I'm going to start with a nice lime green and yellow. Then I'm going to add in my limbs, which are a nice light blue, and then all that's left are the little dots and the eye. Okay, so pretty straightforward, but we'll go one at a time with you. Let's start with the yellow, and then we'll do the green. So I'm going to use still my nice medium round brush. I've washed it off. Grabbing yellow and mixing with white. I think mixing with white is a little important here, even though we're going on the white surface. Mixing with the white will help brighten up the yellow for sure. So definitely do that. Yellow mixed with a little bit of white. Brightens it up. Nice bright yellow. I'm doing this on the underside, so I'm going to start kind of at the little nose area here, just kind of wiping right on top of my white. Again, it should be pretty straightforward because we have the shape all done. You don't need to worry about the shape anymore. You're just kind of filling in. So I'm curving around with that belly, going right to the end of the little butt area. Pretty much splitting him in half, see that? Right in half. So he has a nice bright underside. Not gonna get all cut up tonight, LOL. Jules, no worries. If you have any last minute questions, I can hang out for a few extra minutes of course as well. Sounds like I have plans around 10:30, who knows? But yeah, I still have time for sure. So if you want to keep painting, Jules, and have any last minute questions, throw them my way. Always know though, you can PM the Facebook page. You can, if you're in the Discord channel, because I know you're on Twitch, you can check me out there. And you can message me there in like the little art community there. So if you need help later, no worries. Okay, there's my yellow. Gonna do some nice light green next. So I'm doing yellow mixed with a little bit of blue. We kind of learned that with our light green lily pads earlier. Lots of yellow, a little bit of blue. Again, you can use a little white if you need to, but I personally like kind of the limier green. See how bright and limey it is? And that's going to be obtained by using lots of yellow. Alright, so what I'm doing now, oh, that's quite yellow. Need to darken that a bit. It almost looks like the same shade that I just played with there. Let's try this one. That's better, okay. So now I'm just kind of filling in the top. I did a little oopsie there because I kind of went over top of my lily, but that's alright. So that's the eye, and then it dips down. Comes down. Oh yeah, because that's, oh I see. So I covered up the leg a little bit. That's not a big deal. I can go on top or wipe it away. So that's what I mean. You might kind of lose sight of where the leg and stuff is, but if you go over top, that's alright. So I got two sections, two very defined sections. I got the green top, the yellow bottom. If you would like to blend those together as I did here, all you need to do is wipe off your brush a little bit. You don't need to totally clean it. And you're just going to swipe in between. So swiping in between the green and yellow, your brush is going to pick up a little bit of both and blend them. And now you can see it's more of a smooth blend from green to yellow rather than green section, yellow section. It's a little smoother in the middle. It's exactly what we're looking for. So that's the main color, the kind of green-yellow look. I'm still working on a version of the Eiffel Tower, so don't feel too badly. You're still working on that one, Spuds? I saw you post it. Or maybe you said a version, maybe a different version. Okay, so for the legs, I chose a nice kind of pale blue. It almost looks like a gray or a white even, but it is a very, very pale blue. So if you like that look, I have washed off my brush. Again, I'm still using that medium round. I'm grabbing the tiniest amount of blue that I can. I'm going to mix it into a large pile of white. So just again, a very pale blue. Again, you can brighten it up though if you want to do a different shade, a different look. But all I'm doing with that, again, you can barely notice a difference. I see it on mine. You'll see it on yours, I'm sure. But barely on the camera here. I'm just overlapping now the limbs. So for this blue part, I'm kind of trying to do the toes, of course, just kind of overlapping everything I've done. The only difference is for the front, I guess the two side legs, the ones on the right-hand side or the bottom, I bring them in a little bit to the body. You can kind of blend them a little with the green, or just kind of bring them in on top of the green, because the limb is going to go into the body, right? It doesn't really hide behind, or I guess underneath, I should say. It kind of goes up on top a little bit. So you can overlap a little on top here. Same with this one here. You can, as I said, remember I was saying you can do like a little bend. Kind of comes down to the left and then over to the right. That works fine. It's like, again, more of a human arm that kind of bends at the elbow. He's kind of bending at the elbow. That's a little better, you can see. those fingers again. And then this one, again, very hidden. We don't have any toes. It just kind of is the shape of a bent leg. And kind of redoing that curve there. See, it just kind of hides. It's like tucked in. Ooh, he's coming together. Now we can see all the separate limbs. It looks a lot more frog-like. Only a couple more little steps just to give some detail to our little guy. Again, if you want to name your frog, please do. I would love some little names. Thank you for a great evening of painting. You're welcome, Kim. I learned something new with every lesson. Ah, another goal of mine. Thank you. You guys are like just sending me to the moon here. Yeah, it's important to me that it's not too repetitive too. I'm hoping that it's enough variety for everybody. And that's why I'm trying new things, by the way. Remember I did that abstract painting semi recently? That's why I did that. I kind of sensed you guys maybe wanted something a little different, a little spicy, a little new. So that's why we did some abstract. And again, open to suggestions. I've heard a few different suggestions since that one. Got them all in my brain, got them all in my bullet journal. I'm adding them all in. And I'll be announcing a lot of stuff as they come. I've had requests for paint pouring, tie-dye, like just little activities we could all do together. So keep your eye out. More things to come. All right, last few details. All right, we've got a nice big black eye. And even though these dots look black, they're actually a nice dark gray because I didn't want to take away from the blackness of the eye. Let me see if I can show you here. Maybe you can see how it's slightly darker in the eye and the others are just more of a dark gray. So let's do the eye first, then we'll do the dark gray dotties, and then we have a nice little glisten up here. So this is where the black comes in. We barely use any black in this painting, just in this one spot. So grab a tiny bit of black. Oh, Little Wolf, thanks for the cheer. I don't know why that didn't pop up in my feed there. I see it in the chat. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. 500. Oh, so nice. Thanks. I'm working on a different one now. Gotcha. F question mark? Not sure, Spuds. I'm enjoying this so much. Great, Jules. Spring Jen is like, ooh, we'll read her. We'll get her. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some black and I'm just doing a nice big oval. It's I would say it's it's just to the left of the nose area, kind of right in here. And I'd say it's pretty big. I do a nice big oval for the eye, like a nice big round glistening eye. We'll add a little glisten in there. Oop. So my oval's a little too ovally. I would say I want it maybe a little rounder than that. There we go. That's better. So yeah, if the nose is right here, it's maybe just a little above, kind of above center there. And then we don't do the other eye because that's just over here, right? It's going to be on the other side of the frog. We just have a little lump there. Thanks for the stream, Erin. You're welcome, Crookie. Almost done. We'll get Jen in a minute. Spring's very excited. So once we have the black eye, I'm going to move this over here again actually so I can really see a bit better. There we go. Once we have the eye, I just want to do some very dark gray dots. So I'm now mixing on my plate with my little teeny tiny brush, lots of black, a little bit of white. And my dots, I don't make them very clean. I don't know if you can tell, they're kind of like textured a little bit and they're not super round. They're just kind of like, I was poking my brush on like this. I was kind of tapping. And that way I got a little more of a rough outline. Because that's kind of what I noticed when I looked up online. They weren't perfect round dots. They were kind of like little splotches. So I liked the idea of doing a bunch of little taps. It is kind of a round shape, but again, not clean. I think that's the key. It's just not as clean. And then that way as well, you can kind of differentiate from the eye and the spots. The spots look a little more kind of rough and textured. And you can see I put them everywhere. I would say mostly on the top. You can see maybe I left the belly a little more open. I vary them in size. We have some bigger ones. We have some tinier ones like on the nose here. So cute, like little freckles. Let's go maybe down here, carrying them down. I go on the limbs as well, as you can see. I make them a little smaller on the limbs. Again, like little frecklies around. Thought you were done since Spring's. Oh, no worries. I think she's just excited that Jen's on. I am I'm almost there though, Groki, no worries. Yeah, and I did say, well, reader, so like, cues. Verbal cues, you know. Oh, Celine, hi again. Do you have any plans to do a Thanksgiving painting, like with the turkey or cornucopia? I certainly could. It's all seasonal. Like, I understand everyone's excited about that stuff, but I feel like I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I definitely, I know you said during Thanksgiving, so yeah, you clarified anyway, but yeah, I'm, and then when winter comes, we got lots of nice winter paintings I can do. They're not designed, but you know, I'll design them as I go. I'll take some suggestions and create them live and all that. Yeah, definitely Thanksgiving cornucopia is a great idea. Thank you. A little turkey or something. I think that'd be a fun family one. What do you guys think? Like a nice simple kind of turkey with some very nice bright feathers. That could be very cute. Just adding a couple more on the leg here. Maybe one or two more here. So again, I did leave the belly a little more open, so if I carry them down, you can see just not all the way. Yay, little speckly guy. Just finished my mushrooms. Oh, perfect, 2 shades. Wow, look at that timing. I've got a headache, so I'm gonna log off for the night, but I'd love to play Jackals. Okay. Yeah, message in Discord. I think it was mainly Life who was organizing that. If you want to join her Discord, maybe she can update you. But yeah, anytime, I think pretty much everyone's welcome. Yeah, we'd love to see you there. But have a great rest of your night. Hopefully your headache goes away. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow too, Shanes. I'll be on tomorrow. Yes, love the frog Lee. He's yours, James. Use your suggestion. Thank you for your time and sharing your talent. Good night. You're welcome, Maria. Yes, love that idea, Ceciline. One last teeny step, guys, if you're still with me. Just a little glisten, very important. I found this just cute, made him so much cuter with a little glisten. See, he looks a little like dark and stormy here. A little glisten is all you need to make him just super cute. So I'm taking my tiny brush now. I did wash it off. I'm just grabbing a little dot of white on there. And literally, even if the black is wet, you can just do a nice big old dot. Just kind of press your brush, lift it off. What do you see there? It's a nice little glisten. Oh, it's just the perfect little addition, I think. Oh, it's just so glistening and cute now. There he is, guys. So that's the finished product. I'll bring this down so you can kind of see it all together. Ta-da-da! Yay! I did splatter paint on the carpet. Look at that. Oh well, I don't care. Murder frog. What? What do you mean, Spuds? So again, guys, if you want to get even more creative, add some flies around and that would be a lot of fun. Like a little tongue coming out would be so adorable. Add other little creatures. I heard koi were being added. Real quick before you get off here, I'll encourage you guys, if you want to post any photos, please do that. For those on Facebook, the Facebook event page that you probably saw, what I'm about to do is go back and open that up for posting. So if you try and post there now, it's going to say only moderators can post, but I'm going to open it up for all of you to post. So if you want to post some photos of your beautiful paintings, please do. I love seeing them, and I know everyone else loves seeing them too. So please go ahead and do that if you feel like you want to. If you'd rather keep them to yourself, totally fine as well. On Twitch, you can join my Discord as well. That is a good place to post photos as well. I have a whole art share channel, encouraging all to share their art. Any and all art is there. Yeah. Yay, yay, yay. We got some yays. Little pride yays. So cute. Pride rays. Thanks for the socials, Croak. I always forget that I have that one. Anyway, what else? If you're interested in joining me for another tutorial, I'd love to see you back. Once again, as a reminder, Sunday, it'll be 7 p.m., so a little earlier just because it's a Sunday rather than a Friday night. We're doing this nice dandelion dragonfly painting. Same thing, I'll do it all step by step with you so you can look out for that. If you would like to review this painting later, it'll be on Facebook for a limited time and then it'll move to YouTube forever. youtube.com/erinbunpaints is where you want to find it. Hello YouTube for those watching on YouTube, you're already here. If you feel like supporting me today, a lot of you on Facebook specifically keep asking about like e-transfers, PayPal options. Thank you for asking, and I do have those set up. You can e-transfer me, erinbunpaints@gmail.com. There's a PayPal link. I believe it's paypal.me/erinbunpaints. paints. That's all in the description of this video as well if you feel like supporting me today. Thank you for those who do. For those who don't, no judgments. I'm not watching names or anything. This is a completely free event and that's how it's intended. So if you're in tough times or just don't have the funds right now, totally fine. It's more important to me that everyone's painting and getting creative. So thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure that's it. If there's anything I'm missing, let me know. I'm sticking around for a few minutes as usual. If you have any last minute questions or maybe you're on the last few steps and you need to repeat things, just hit me with some questions, comments, etc. Just gonna review some comments on Twitch here. That glisten in his eye, that's Porter. Get out of here, it's cute. Yay, yay. Bob quote, last Bob quote. Again, on Twitch I have a function in the chat where you can choose to populate a little Bob quote. It says, I think each of us sometime in our life has wanted to paint a picture. Real Bob Ross quote. Look at that. I think that's true, Bob. So amazing. You look so easy. Oh, thanks, Jules. I've been doing this a while. Julesy, so cute. Thanks, Erin. You're welcome. Can't wait for the dragonflies. Me too. Me too. You're welcome, Julesy. Thanks for popping in. Oh, can you show us? Sure, Celine. Celine says, can we show us a fly? Yeah, why the heck not? Lisa, so cute. Thank you again. You're welcome. Love your tutorials. Thank you. You're welcome, Melanie. Sharon, thanks again. See you Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your night, Sharon. Hope you enjoyed your wine, and I will see you Sunday, of course. Here's a simple fly, guys. I'm just going to do a very simple one for you. Why the heck not? We got black on a little detail brush. I'll show you in the blue, okay, just so you can see it better. I'm just going to literally dot on probably about a little smaller than the eye of the frog. Literally a little speck of a fly. I think that's about the right size. And I think what I want to do is add some gray wings, so I'm just going to do white and black mixed together. It's going to be very simple, Celine. It's not going to be anything detailed. I'm just going to do a little V shape at the top of this black dot here. It's like a little cartoon fly, okay? I think that's a cute little addition there. So just here, I'll zoom you in. A little gray V shape. Ooh! He's a fat little guy. He's gonna be juicy when the frog catches him. So again, a little gray V shape for wings. A little black dot, I think, is what I'd go with. I think that's just a cute little addition. Can I add a little tongue? Oh, I want to. This is my suggestion. I just want to add a little tongue. Why the heck not? He's gonna reach. He's gonna reach for it. A little bulb at the end, you know? Ah! He's trying! He's got a long tongue. Look at that. Oh, what a cutie. So if anyone wants to get a little more fun with it, there's a little addition there. So again, I'm just widening out the end because he has a little bulb at the end where the little stickies are. And doing a nice thin pink line. He looks so goofy! Who else is here? Cindy, thank you, love it, you're welcome. Cindy, Melanie, my pollen needs some help. Melanie, if you want to send over a photo in the direct messages of my page, of this Facebook page, I can definitely have a look and try and help you, but just so you know, mine's quite messy as well. And I'll show you the original. It's kind of, again, I don't even know if pollen is proper in lilies. I just kind of did some streaks. So, whatever you think. But yeah, feel free to send me a photo. Maybe I can give you some tips. Bev, thank you so much. See you Sunday. Awesome. You're welcome, Bev. I'll see you there. Charlene, I need to redo the frog. No worries. Nice and easy. Just use your dark green. You can even shape out what you have, maybe. If you have, like, mostly a frog, use the dark green and kind of move things around. Yeah. Sherry says, thanks, you're welcome. Celine, that's so cute and simple. Thank you. You're welcome. Love the additions. Me too, Maria. I'm glad that Celine asked me. It inspired me to do the little tongue. So there you go. Who else here? Jules, I'm going to finish the flower tonight and I will go back and watch you do the frog tomorrow. Perfect. Yeah. Go at your own pace. So cute, says Croak. I love the addition of the fly and the frog going for it. I agree, Jules. I think it was a great little thing to add. I just like the angle of the tongue too. It's like, whoop. It's just because the fly's way up here. I'd probably put him over here so he's more direct, but his tongue's doing wild things there. Yay, we now have Kyle the fly. Is that Kyle? Okay. Kyle. What's the frog's name, James? The pink tongue matches the flower. Yeah, so true. So true. Yeah. Nice call, Heather. Alright, I'll give another, yeah, frames dropped. Weird. Huh. It's a busy night, I guess, for internet. Give another minute or two, Facebook, and then I'll sign off here. Any last minute questions? Go ahead. Name your frogs. Name your frogs. There we go. Traditional names like Hop, Hoppy, etc. A hoppy little frog, a hoppy little accident. Oh, you can get creative with those. Kyle the Fly. Okay. Anyway, yeah, can't wait for Sunday. Already looking forward to it. Packed weekend. And if anyone's still hanging out on Facebook, I'll go on Twitch tomorrow if you guys want to hang out there. I might design a sunflower painting. I think that's a great idea. Nice sunflower painting. I'll try and design that so I can post that up in the next day or two. Alyssa's here. See you tomorrow on Twitch. I'll see you there. Oh my gosh. See, she's right on cue right as I'm talking about Twitch. She's like, I'll see you there. Throwing the Bob quotes in chat. I loved it today, Alyssa. Every time I need a little Bob quote, you were there doing it, so it's great. Okay, I think we're all good in terms of questions. There weren't any questions, just thank you. So thanks again for coming, guys. Again, Sunday, I'll see ya. What time tomorrow, Heather? Oh, good question. 10 a.m. You can pretty much count on me most days doing 10 to 3. I skip Tuesdays, Thursdays. Actually, next week's going to be a little different, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, 10 to 3 is what I stick to. Sometimes I go till 4 or 5, but I try to be online by about 10. So anytime kind of like late morning, lunchtime, and then into early afternoon. Yeah. And Heather, you can always, I try my best to post a schedule both on Twitch and Facebook, so if you're ever wondering, I try and post like a week in advance. You can kind of check the days there. Again, next week's going to be a little different, so just so you know, it's going to be a little inconsistent. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Yes, Sue, thank you so much. You're welcome, all caps. Yeah! And then Melanie, I think that's a thanks. There's some spelling mistakes there. Maybe you have painty hands and you're like, doo doo doo, but you're welcome. Okay, signing off of Facebook. Thanks again, guys, for coming. I'll see you again, okay? Have a great rest of your Friday nights. Bye!